Feud this morning at 8 on Fox 14.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
We're off to a great start, aren't we? right now it's 7. Holiday shopping is projected to be an all-time high, but retail stores won't be hiring extra staff this season. More on what that means.
Plus, an oil refinery in Kansas has been ordered to pay a hefty fine after oil spilled from a flood in 2007.
And we are cloudy, cold, windy, and drizzly this morning. We'll talk about that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Tuesday morning in the 4 states.
Absolutely.
It's a holiday week. Some kids out of school already. They were out of school for this whole week.
Yep.
Some
adults are actually already out of work for the week too.
Yeah, some adults. So we're not kids. We're not adults because we're still working. What are we?
We're cool.
We're cool.
We're
the cool kids.
We're the cool kids.
And some kids in school though today. But today's their last day this week, and as for you and me, we're the cool ones, and we're going to be here all week long.
Love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
But, honestly, we wouldn't, because we're here to let you know what's going on in your world, and somebody's got to be in these chairs to tell you about it. Somebody's got to be in these chairs to mispronounce words and trip over their own toes or their feet and trip over cords and fall down and laugh at silly things. So
absolutely.
And of course, retail workers. Now, most of them will get Thanksgiving off, but they'll be back Friday.
Oh, everyone's shopping on Friday,
nearly
Chris.
as many retail workers.
Absolutely. And while retail sales are expected to soar to new heights over the holidays, the seasonal workforce has taken a nosedive. According to new data, retailers posted the lowest number of seasonal job openings since 2013. Mike Valerio has more.
'Tis the season for sales, but while prices are down this Black Friday week, so is the number of seasonal workers.
A lot of employers now have enough people on staff where they only need a slight uptick in the number of employees that they're going to have for the holiday season.
According to Andy Challenger from outplacement services firm Challenger Gray and Christmas, this year retailers advertised the lowest number of seasonal positions in a decade. Just 2 years ago, retailers hit a record high, nearly 1 million holiday jobs.
During the pandemic years, retailers were seeing unprecedented desire from Americans to buy their products. They were strapped.
Today, numbers have dropped a sharp 40% compared to pandemic times, indicating the type of employees needed for seasonal work has changed.
There has been this massive migration to e-commerce, which really changes the types of workers that companies and retailers need to hire during the holidays.
Glassdoor chief economist Aaron Terraza says it's no longer about face-to-face customer engagement.
Amazon was the only major retailer to announce a big uptick in the number of employees that they're expecting to hire this season.
And while brick and mortar jobs tend to shed holiday hires by January, some seasonal jobs in the e-commerce market may be around for, let's say, an extended season.
Those companies tend to keep seasonal workers on through February, sometimes even March.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
All right, lots of holiday shopping. No matter how you do it, just get it done.
Yeah, and make sure you're prepared for the crowds out there as well, because they're already out in droves. And by Black Friday, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be. I remember my sister and I went holiday shopping a few years ago at the mall, and we're parking almost out by the Firestone.
That's what makes it
we're
fun.
that far out. That parking lot, according to the mall's website, there's just under 500 parking spaces, and there wasn't been a single one available. So it is incredible how people can cram into these places. And you're going to want to cram in a lot of information about your forecast because, well, it's going to be cold. It's going to be breezy. Thanksgiving looking great, though, aside from some clouds. We'll talk about all of that here in a few minutes, but let's get you out the door first with a look outside. From our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin, it is temporarily frozen, or it just got so cold that the flags are frozen in position. It could go either way, especially this winter. You never know. But it is breezy. It is cloudy. There's been some drizzle out there. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line showing those cloudy skies. We'll start to see a little bit of clearing as we go later into the the day. Still wet roadways out there, so do be aware of that. Drizzle, of course, does not show up on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. It's just not dense enough. However, an opportunity for an isolated shower or two later this morning into the early afternoon is possible. Sitting at 43 in Joplin and in Pittsburgh. And we go through the day, our highs well below normal, only into the upper 40s. Mostly cloudy, winds out of the north gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. We'll have clearing skies late and maybe some isolated showers in there as well. We're going to take a full look at your forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Some residents in Carthage, Missouri are questioning the city administrator's employment. After going through council minutes, Carthage resident Bill Putnam says he realized that the city administrator, Greg Dagnan, does not meet the residential requirements of living within city limits. Dagnan has lived outside of city limits since his time as police chief. However, the city attorney says that the city council's action of hiring Dagnan for employment waived the residential requirement. Putnam believes the hiring process is against Carthage's charter because the council didn't vote to waive the requirement.
The person that was the chair of the hiring committee did ask the city attorney, hey, do we need to make two separate votes here since we know Greg lives outside the city? And the city attorney said, no, if you hire the guy, you're pretty much saying that you're okay, that he is qualified and where he lives is fine.
Putnam filed a complaint with the Missouri State Auditor's Office. Coffeyville Oil Refinery settles a lawsuit for illegal pollutants. The EPA and Justice Department announced yesterday that Coffeyville Resources Refining and Marketing will pay more than $23 million for violations related to illegal emissions of pollutants from 2015 to 2017. Those pollutants including more than 2,000 tons of sulfur dioxide. The Southeast Kansas refinery has had a long history of legal settlements, including one involving an oil spill during the 2007 flood. And the city of Joplin is accepting applications to fill a short-term council seat. The seat was opened after council member Kate Spencer resigned from her position last week. It'll be up for election in April to finish out the 2 years remaining, but in the meantime, someone will be selected to fill it until the election. People can apply at the Joplin City Clerk's office beginning at 8 a.m. today. The council will decide from the candidates in a December meeting. Up next, it's Tuesday, and that means Charlene is in the kitchen this morning whipping up some molasses spike cake. And later, with gas prices heading down before Thanksgiving, we will have what that means for your holiday road trip. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Option in town for your vet care. Mutt Medics is now open at packages for your pet. Mutt Medics, now open at 20th and Main in Joplin.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Again, our good friend Charlene Patton coming down all the way from Topeka at the Kansas Soybean Commission. So great to see you again. And you've had some amazing recipes this month. This one, so you know Thanksgiving is this Thursday. This is a very special one for Thanksgiving.
It is. You know, there's something about baking when the fall comes and the holidays. And this is a molasses spice cake.
All right.
And oh my goodness, Chris, your kitchen, your house will smell so good as it's baking with all these spices and with the molasses. I'm going to you've got our dry ingredients here, the flour. Okay. Here is our baking soda, baking powder, salt, and our pumpkin pie spice. I'll let you add that and stir that in. I've already creamed the brown sugar and our margarine, which is our soy product, one of them that's in this recipe. So I'm going to add our egg, and then my goodness, smell this. That is our molasses.
That is good.
And I want you to see that I sprayed this. You know, molasses is very sticky, but spray your measuring cup with some vegetable spray, and it will just come right out of there and be so easy to clean then your bowl, and you'll make sure that you get it all. So now we're just mixing that together. Okay. That makes our base. Boy, this makes a wonderful mixture here. And then you are going to add half of that. And I would mix this up a little bit more if I was at home, but we're going to go ahead and start blending this. So I want you to add half of it.
All right. Now that's going to be, that could be tough here.
Oh, and it doesn't matter. I mean, just dump it in, and about half is what we want to add to mix it in, because it just makes it a little bit easier to mix.
There we go. I think that should be about half right there.
And then I'm going to have you add half of our vanilla soy milk.
Okay.
And I've got an empty package. Yeah. There you go. I have an empty package there for you to show, because when I'm traveling, this makes it really easy to bring. But it's like a snack pack, so it's great for lunches. It's great if you were going somewhere that you wanted to have that. It's shelf stable. You could put that in a cooler, and that's what I used, and it's the vanilla. Now add the rest of the flour.
Okay.
Yeah, just add it all in there.
That part's easy for me. Just dump that right in there.
And then I'm going to have you add the rest of our vanilla soy milk.
Okay. Get that mixed in there.
And we would mix this until we didn't see any more dry ingredients. But then I bake this in a bundt pan. And you can see that here that we have that. It'll actually make about 12 servings.
Okay.
So this would be a great recipe, like you mentioned, if you were going somewhere and you needed to take a dish. You can make this ahead of time, because it's kind of like the pumpkin walnut bread that we did last week. If you make it ahead of time and let it set for a couple of days, those flavors just blend even more.
Okay.
So we have that, and then I've served it here. You can serve it. I've sliced it, put a little bit of powdered sugar on it, and then a little bit of whipped cream.
It looks delicious. So, of course, if folks want this recipe or any of the others from this month, where do they need to go?
Yes, they should go to our website at kansassoybeans.org, or they can also call our 800 number, 877-KS-SOYBEAN,
All right.
and we'll mail them all the recipes for November.
Fantastic. Charlene, thank you so much. And, of course, if you missed any of that, do not worry. It'll also be on our website later this morning, KOAMNewsNow.com. We will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Well, now you have. Buy one large single-topping pizza, get the second 50% off. Only at Casey's.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is about to be 7:16 on this Tuesday morning. Want to pass along some information we just got in. Apparently a traffic crash at Fur Road and Peace Church near Carl Junction has resulted in a power outage in Carl Junction, leaving around 2,000 folks without power this morning. So do be aware of that. And for you folks in CJ, if you're wondering why your power is out, that's what's happened, is apparently a traffic crash again at Fur Road and Peace Church. So two things you got to watch out for: the crash there and the fact that the power is out for a little over 2,000 folks in Carl Junction. This morning, boy, it is a cold one and not a good day to start without any heat for sure. We're sitting at 43 in Joplin, north-northwest breeze at 9. It's been gusting upwards of 20-25. Feels like about 38 degrees out there with those cloudy skies and some patchy drizzle still around the area. 41 in Iola, 42, Fort Scott, Nevada, Lamar, Carthage, Stockton, Neosho, 43 in Pittsburgh, 45 Neodesha, Parsons, Chautauqua, and 46 down in Miami. But with the wind, feels like 41 in Miami, 37 Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada, and feels like 31 in Monette, so a chilly start. Winds out of the north today, gusting upwards of around 25 miles an hour, mostly cloudy skies, not a lot of movement in temperatures, mid-40s by late morning, and by late morning, some isolated showers, a few sprinkles will be possible, and those will be possible in isolated areas through the early afternoon. Then they'll start to clear out, and our skies will begin to clear out as well. Our highs, though, well below average, only into the upper 40s. Skies continue to clear tonight. North wind continuing to gust upwards of 25. Overnight lows well below normal into the upper 20s, so we're talking wind chill values down into the low 20s and even upper teens. For Thanksgiving, starting again partly cloudy, going mostly cloudy through the day, but warmer, closer to average, mid to upper 50s. But our low again Thanksgiving night going to be pretty darn cold, down to into the low 30s. If you are saving your traveling for this morning, so far again, no significant weather-related delays at any of the major airports around the country. We're looking great out on the West Coast. Temperatures looking to be in the mid to upper 70s down into LA and Phoenix. A little cooler in the Pacific Northwest, but still not bad. Out to the east and southeast, thunderstorm chances, cloudy skies, but warm. And in New England states, much colder as well. If you're traveling regionally, back behind the front, skies will clear a little faster, so partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and of course will begin to clear out here on a local level as we head later into the afternoon and evening. Our Wednesday still cold, 49, but at least the sun is shining. As we mentioned, Thanksgiving looks great. Chilly for Black Friday, and then we're watching that system Sunday. Again, not expecting a torrential amount of snowfall or anything, but between the showers and a possible light wintry mix heading into Sunday, if you're traveling back home this weekend, could make travel a little more hazardous than usual. So do be prepared for that. We're also going to start to get colder. Lows back into the 20s, highs only in the mid to upper 40s. That's a quick check of your forecast. We have a lot more coming your way on the KOAM Morning News, including what gas prices, see, they're coming down, but does that mean we're going to see more travelers on the road? We'll have more on that coming up.
Feels good to be home.
This Wednesday, Black Friday deals start hours only. This upholstered sofa is only $2.99. Ashley's Black Friday sale. Doors open at 7 a.m.
Well, here's something to be thankful for. Gas prices are taking a dip just as millions of Americans are getting ready to travel this Thanksgiving. In fact, I fueled up. It was $2.54.
Hey-o!
I tell you, but it's not all good news if you're hitting the roads or skies.
Jen Sullivan has a look at what drivers and passengers can expect heading into the Thanksgiving holiday.
Some good news if you're driving this holiday. Gas prices are taking a tumble just in time for Thanksgiving. And that's welcome news for people hitting the road.
The majority of people drive to their destinations.
As of Friday, the national average for a gallon of regular gas was $3.33, according to AAA. That's down 55 cents over the last 2 months. And Gas Buddy projects those average prices will plummet even further, down to $3.25 or lower by Thanksgiving Day. Here's the catch. If you're driving, expect a lot of company on the roads. AAA estimates just over 49 million Americans will be driving to their destination this Thanksgiving.
This is a very busy forecast.
Airports are also expected to be packed. AAA predicting roughly 4.7 million Americans will fly. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, which is the busiest in the world, is bracing for the surge in travelers.
We will have extra officers on duty to open additional screening lanes.
A similar situation at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
The winter holidays are really the second busiest time of the year for us.
So whether you're driving or flying to your destination, give yourself plenty of time to get there. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
All right, lots of people on the road in these coming days. So
yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's good that gas prices, though, are coming down. I mean, regardless of if you're traveling or not, it's just nice to pay less. You know, you're so used to saying, yeah, I'll take like 55 out there on that pump, and it only takes $20 now. You're
it's great.
Like, what do I do with the rest of this money? I budgeted this.
Oh, I know what you do. You save it for a good Black Friday deal.
Yeah.
Holiday shopping starts in 4800. Well, coming up, we will hear how a program in Missouri has become the driving force to help keep kids in school.
And speaking of traveling, we'll take another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
It's out with Thanksgiving and in Black Friday super sale only at Denver Mattress.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:26 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. People across the 4 states are relying on food banks to have something to eat this holiday season. To help, KOAM yesterday hosted a drop-off event at Ron's Supermarket in Pittsburgh as part of our Feed the 4 States campaign. Folks who wanted to help were able to donate non-perishable food items.
It's important to help out where we can, whether that's with Wesley House or whoever, and KOAM is a great partner to work with to help individuals in need this holiday season.
The turnout, we hope to support about the 1 in 5 families that we're seeing come through Wesley House's doors. So that could mean feeding a family of 4 for a month is the goal.
The drop-off event may be over, but our Feed the 4 States campaign is still going on. You can donate money through our website at koamnewsnow.com. That money will benefit area food pantries. Southeast Kansas has a new conference and workforce training center. U.S. Senator Jerry Moran stopped by at the ribbon cutting of the new Impact Conference Center in Chanute. It features space for 300 seats, soundproof partitioned rooms, and state-of-the-art audiovisual technology. Officials say the center will help several industries, including health and wellness.
Where something really good is happening. I mean, healthcare is an issue for every citizen of our state, but here in Southeast Kansas, sometimes it's rare, and we want to make sure. We want to be helpful to communities that are trying to improve the access to healthcare and improve its quality. And so we're here to cut a ribbon, express excitement and support for some federal funds, some private funds, and state funds coming together to make sure that Chanute and the surrounding area has greater access to care.
The new center was paid for through grants from the Federal CARES Act. Black Friday is a big time for businesses, big and small, but for some local businesses, it's a chance to gain some ground on chain stores. We spoke with officials at Gameco in Joplin about how they prepare for Black Friday. They say it's important to focus on the current gaming trends to make sure customers get the deals they're looking for.
We started seeing the car commercials and the Best Buy and those places doing, basically Black Friday from the beginning of November. We were like, man, if we don't do something different, you're trying to wait till the end. I think a lot of people are starting to shop so much earlier, and Black Friday itself is not such a big, important date.
To find out about some Black Friday deals you might not expect, head on over to our money section of our website at koamnewsnow.com. And Cherokee County Sheriff is reminding the community to be vigilant against phone scams. Here's some common scams to look out for. The grandparent scam, where a victim is contacted by someone claiming to be their grandchild. A post office scam, a scammer claiming to be the post office that will send you a phishing link asking you to confirm information. And a Medicaid scam. These scammers will say that Medicare is issuing new cards and needs the victim's information for processing.
See, I got one of those post office ones actually just yesterday, and it was sent to me as a text message, but from an email address. And first off, the email address didn't even make sense.
Yep.
Okay? They're not going to do that for you. They're not going to send you stuff like that. But the email address was VIZNH, like some bizarre, weird thing like that, with the image of the post office saying, it's like, your package is out for delivery. We need to confirm. I'm like, I have no package out for delivery. I haven't ordered a darn thing yet. And I do my Christmas shopping in person. So you got to remember that. Try and keep track of what you are actually ordering and have out for delivery. All right. Now that we're protected from scams, let's protect ourselves from the cold by bundling up. Our camera at the Cornell Complex showing the clouds, same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line. Drizzle still patchy out there, but of course it does not show up on radar, unfortunately, but the clouds did. Our rain that actually shows up on radar is long gone and dissipated out there. Sitting at 43 in Joplin, 43 in Pittsburgh as well. And as we go through the day, we'll have the chance for some isolated sprinkles, showers as we head through the late morning into early afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, breezy. Winds gusting upwards of 25 out of the north, highs only into the upper 40s, so nowhere near where we should be. And then they'll begin to clear out later. We're having another full look at your forecast, and it does include the travel forecast and, of course, the Thanksgiving holiday here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. An old school program in Missouri is proving to be a workhorse when it comes to keeping certain kids in school. Joe Hickman has more.
From additions to their high school and early childhood education buildings to converting the old Fasco Industrial Complex into a state-of-the-art innovation center that helps students get better prepared for their job careers, the Ozark School District is constantly working on ways to improve the learning experience. And newly located to the old Fasco building is a low-profile program that's been around since 2007, the Finley River Alternative School, that serves about 50 of the 1,800 high school students in the district.
One of the fallacies that people have about alt school is it's where bad kids are sent.
Now in her 32nd year in education, Constance Leonard is the director of the Finley River School, where students may end up for a variety of reasons, such as if they've underperformed academically, displayed social, emotional, or behavioral issues, been victims of other behavioral problems such as bullying, been a high risk for dropping out, or displayed a need for individualized instruction.
They come with all those problems and they can be fine one day, but because of all those things the next day, they may be completely unable to learn. So you have to be able to carry that burden as a classroom teacher.
I suffered a lot of depression, anxiety.
Rainey Tabor is a junior at Finley River, whose dragon slippers represent the comfort she feels at a school that has a kitchen, quiet room, and small class sizes for more individualized attention. The same courses are taught here, but there's a different feel than the main high school, where Rainey was getting all Fs. Now, except for one B, she's getting all A's.
When you walk in the high school, you get judged. That's all you feel is judgment, eyes everywhere. When you walk in here, it's just love, care for. It's just so different.
Making someone feel heard, seen, valued, then you find that path to success. And it's messy and it's not clean.
I was in a really hard place in my life. I struggled with a lot of things, So coming here really changed my life. I didn't think I was going to graduate school, but now I get to graduate early, and I get that time and that care finally with my teachers.
We do strive to make sure every student knows we meet you where you're at.
Since its inception 16 years ago, Finley River has helped over 200 students get their high school degrees, including a record 29 last year. It isn't always pretty.
It's cutting to the chase, and we talk about bad things of this isn't acceptable and here's why.
But the overall graduation rate is
over 99%. Once we have you, we are going to do everything we can to get you across that finish line.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Shop Local Saturday is this week, and we'll see how the City of Pittsburgh and the Chamber of Commerce are working together.
I'm Lynn Berry with the Branson Chamber of Commerce.
Holiday shopping is just about to kick off, and with all the options for shopping, it's important to not forget local businesses. Sarah Runyon is here with us to explain how the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce and downtown Pittsburgh are working together for Shop Local Saturday. Welcome.
Hi.
Now, what is Shop Local Saturday?
So Small Business Saturday was started by American Express, and it's taken off around the country, and several of us have been doing a passport event on Small Business Saturday to support local businesses and encourage shoppers to shop small and support their local businesses.
I love that. And what does this passport do? I see a bunch of names of different stores, Is that correct?
So Small Business Saturday is November 25th. It's 2 days after Thanksgiving. And we have over 30 businesses participating in our passport event. Basically, shoppers can show up at the Pittsburgh Art Council Holiday Art Market from 10 to 1 at Frisco Event Center. They can pick up one of these passports for free, and this gives them a guide to all the different businesses that are offering specials that day.
I love that. Do you actually get a stamp like a real passport?
You take them to the businesses, you get 10 stamps, collect them, turn this in, and you get entered to win one of we have about 4 prize bundles that folks can win. They're filled with holiday goodies and really cool giveaways that the businesses have donated.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. And tell us, why is it so important to shop local?
Well, for me, shopping local is about supporting the people in my community that own businesses and operate them. This year has been a hard one for local businesses, so it's really important to support them. It's also important to support your local economy. Rather than jumping straight to your phone and ordering something on Amazon for the holidays, consider supporting a local business and buying your gifts there. For every $1 you spend in your community, 68 cents stays in that community.
I love that. And I hear you guys are also doing a special Christmas tree lighting, is that correct?
Right. So Small Business Saturday, we will have a tree lighting ceremony. It's happening at Pritchett Pavilion. It's our first ever inaugural tree lighting ceremony at 6:30 p.m. that evening at Pritchett Pavilion.
Oh my God, it looks beautiful. And tell us, where can people go to get more information about this?
So go to the city's Facebook page, and you can also go to pitks.org/SBS, Small Business Saturday, and you can get more information there as well.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And for you at home, make sure you check out Small Business Saturday, happening this Saturday, November 25th. Thanks again, and stay tuned because we got more news coming up.
There's a new option in town for your vet care. 20th and Main in Joplin.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:41 now on this Tuesday morning. We're going to get right into the forecast for today and talk about the upcoming holiday and this weekend. So we're looking at highs today, mid to upper 40s, about 10 to 15 degrees off of where we should be. Mostly cloudy skies, gusty north winds pushing 25 miles an hour. And starting later this morning through the early afternoon, we have the chance of an isolated shower or two, maybe some sprinkles out there. Nothing widespread. Most of us will be dry, but it is definitely going to be cold. Skies will begin to clear as we head through the evening and into the overnight hours, and because they do clear, We have no thermal blanket to keep the warm air in, not like we're getting much warm air, so we're falling back another 10 to 15 degrees below normal as we go back into the upper 20s tonight, and that north wind is relentless, will not let go, still gusting at 20 to 25 miles an hour. As for Thanksgiving, we're going to start partly cloudy, clouds increase, we're going to go mostly cloudy through the day, but our highs will be average as we go mid-upper 50s throughout the day on Thanksgiving, but our overnight definitely not average. It falls back down into the low 30s. If you're saving your traveling for this morning, we're going to take a quick look at weather-related airport delays across the country at select airports, and as you can see, none expected. And out to the west, weather looking great, especially into Phoenix and LA. Upper 70s out there, not bad in San Francisco. Portland also all right. And if you're traveling locally, we want to get on that. We've got decent conditions. Of course, behind this front, you're going to see skies clearing a little quicker. Partly cloudy. We're talking 40s and some 50s out there. We'll be cloudy a little longer ahead of the front here in the area as well. As for our Wednesday, sunny skies, but still well below normal. Upper 40s, low 50s for Black Friday, mostly cloudy. Watching this system Sunday. Again, not expecting a ton of snow or anything like that, but between showers and a light wintry mix could make traveling back home this weekend a little hazardous. So just pay attention, watch out, be aware of what's happening this weekend. We head into next week, temperatures nice, kind of nice initially Monday, Tuesday, and then they get downright cold. Upper 30s near 40 Wednesday and Thursday, overnight lows into the 20s. That's a quick check of your forecast, and our very own Caitlin is going to be standing by for Consumer Watch any second now. And there she goes. It's like on The Price is Right. Do we need to call you down?
I'm ready.
Come on down. You're the next contestant with Consumer Watch.
All right. Well, scared of your credit card information getting stolen? Well, security experts say virtual credit cards might help. A Wall Street Journal report says some banks can create a virtual card number. For some purchases, security experts say card information could be at risk of getting stolen if a person has them on file with certain online shops. But with a digital card, that risk lowers. Consumers can add the virtual cards to their mobile wallets and browser extensions. Various banks give out virtual cards, but some specifically only give them to those who are corporate cardholders. And self-checkout might soon look a little different for this retail giant. Target is reportedly testing a 10-item limit for self-checkout registers. A report says the retailer is trying to cut down line wait times as well as gain better insight into its customers' preferences. The report says the item limit has rolled out at a select number of stores. Target has been implementing anti-theft measures as retail thefts have risen in some cities. But the report adds Target claims products losses is not a reason for its decision to test new self-checkout policies. And retail crime is spiking across the country as Americans gear up for the holiday season. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
Far from jolly, retailers are rolling out more precautions, hoping to stop Grinches from stealing some holiday cheer. With retail crime running rampant, businesses are beefing up security to protect their merchandise, customers, and staff.
But at the end of the day, this hurts employees and communities that lose jobs, ready access to things that they need, and ultimately pay higher prices.
Last year, retail crime cost the industry more than $112 billion in losses. As a result, nearly half of the brands recently surveyed by the National Retail Federation say they've hired private security to fight theft. One lawmaker says federal law enforcement can also play a role.
Federal enforcement agencies should be able to strategize on how to best support state and local enforcement in combating these crimes.
Target is teaming up with the Department of Homeland Security. The company says it reached its breaking point after having to close a handful of stores in major cities like New York and San Francisco because of theft and organized retail crime.
In some states, for example, we have dedicated task forces that are focused just on that issue.
Retailers are not the only ones struggling. In the nation's capital, city officials and police are handing out tracking devices and dashboard cameras to help local drivers with surging crime rates.
It may not prevent someone from grabbing me or doing something wrong, but at least we'll have a recording of it.
The issue could be troubling for Democrats, with a Fox News poll showing voters see Republicans as better able to handle crime. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
McKinney here with American Fireplace.
This is going to be so much fun. In Grimsburg. Special preview, January 7th on Fox.
A 6-year-old boy got a big honor for the quick actions that helped save his grandmother's life.
Fox's Stephanie Buffmonte has more on the boy's superhero efforts.
I hear a bumping sound. It means that was my grandma falling.
6-year-old James Garcia's grandmother was having a medical episode. She couldn't breathe. Little James knew he had to help.
I take her phone and just call 911. I didn't know what's happening to my grandma. I'm scared.
James staying strong as he waited for paramedics to get to their Orange County home earlier this month.
I saw a knocking sound from the door. It was a fireman. Yeah, I opened it, and they were here to help my grandma. But my grandma is in her room. You're right there. Okay. Right there.
Okay, you did a great job, okay?
Good job, buddy.
They said that there was somebody there helping the grandma, but we didn't realize he was so young. And so when we opened the door, it was surprising to see a little man.
His grandmother is back up on her feet, recovered, and now feeling more than thankful for her little hero.
I love my whole family. The number one is him.
With a smile from ear to ear, little James was proud to get special recognition Sunday, alongside the firefighters, paramedics, and dispatchers who helped him save his grandmother that day. Orange County Fire Rescue awarding him the Young Hero Award. It may be a little big now, but this hero will grow into this fire helmet.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A fireman.
In Orlando.
Good for James. I love that story.
Absolutely. Great quick action saving his grandmother's life. And as you mentioned, she's going to be telling that story to everyone.
You're not gonna be able to be within 5 feet of her without me telling you about the
until
time my
Thanksgiving.
grandson.
Even though the family's going to know, she's going to share that story
It's a good
again
story.
anyway. It's an excellent
Yes.
story, though. Fantastic for him. Let's take a quick look at your forecast. We're going to start a little bit differently just because we have the holiday coming up. We got a lot of things to talk about, and we're coming to the end of the show. For today, we're going to continue to be mostly cloudy, some patchy drizzle, and then by late morning into the early afternoon, a few isolated showers will be possible. Most of us remain dry. Mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures don't move much. Mid-40s by late morning, and that north wind is going to be gusting upwards of 25 for today, tonight, and into tomorrow. So a heads up on that. Again, a stray shower, maybe some sprinkles possible into the early afternoon. Skies will begin to clear. Highs well below normal as we go into the upper 40s tonight. And then as we head into, for today, highs today. Tonight, though, another 10 degrees or so below normal, lows back into the upper 20s, but the skies will continue to clear. We'll go mostly clear overnight, and those north winds again gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. So we're talking wind chills back into the upper teens possibly. We're going to have another look at your forecast, including Thanksgiving and the rest of the week ahead, and the news you need to know right after this.
What's up? It's the Copenhagen Band.
Salute Michael Melvin, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Some residents in Carthage, Missouri are questioning the city administrator's employment. After going through council minutes, Carthage resident Bill Putnam says that he realized that the city administrator, Greg Dagnan, does not meet the residential requirement of living within city limits. Dagnan has lived outside of city limits since his time as police chief. However, the city attorney says the city council's action of hiring Dagnan for employment waived the residential requirement. Putnam believes the hiring process is against Carthage's charter because the council didn't vote to waive the requirement. Coffeyville Oil Refinery settles a lawsuit for illegal pollutants. The EPA and Justice Department announced yesterday that Coffeyville Resources Refining and Marketing will pay more than $23 million for violations related to illegal emissions of pollutants from 2015 to 2017. Those pollutants, including more than 2,000 tons of sulfur dioxide, The Southeast Kansas refinery has had a long history of legal settlements, including one involving an oil spill during the 2007 flood. And the city of Joplin is accepting applications to fill a short-term council seat. The seat was opened after council member Kate Spencer resigned from her position last week. It'll be up for election in April to finish out the 2 years remaining, but in the meantime, someone will be selected to fill it until the election. People can apply at the Joplin City Clerk's office beginning at 8 a.m. today. The council will decide from the candidates in a December meeting.
All right, so heading into Thanksgiving, again, we're going to start the day partly cloudy, clouds increasing. Highs about average, though, mid to upper 50s out there, but another cold night back into low 30s. As for the rest of the week, tomorrow still below normal, but the sun will be out, upper 40s out there. Black Friday, a little chilly, low 50s, mostly cloudy. Watching that system this weekend, and again, I just want to remind folks, we're not anticipating a blizzard or several feet of snow or anything, but between the showers and a light wintry mix and the cold temperatures, could make some holiday travel, especially if you're heading home, a little dangerous or a little more hazardous this weekend. So just be aware of that if you're planning to travel this weekend.
Thank you, Chris. Well, dozens of piglets were set loose after a semi-trailer overturned Friday night on I-75.
Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers were called to the ramp from I-75 northbound to I-70 westbound for reports of a semi overturned, according to the OSP. The overturn caused the piglets on board to be set loose.
Traffic cameras showed both officers and bystanders attempting to catch the piglets, and I hope they all were okay.
Yeah, I hope so too. They're cute
pretty
little things.
Cute. I do like them.
Little baby pigs are pretty cute.
I do enjoy them.
And then they turn into Thanksgiving dinner.
Ham.
Poor piglets. Poor piglets. Maybe some of them, hopefully some of them escaped.
Yes.
And they're living the good life now
Absolutely.
in Ohio. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your day, 4 States.